Everyone, it's Random Name 951 here to bring you another review on one of my Gundam MSIA action figures, and I'm here to show you my second Xamel I got in the mail. No, this is not my second Xamel. This is my first Xamel. This is my Japanese one, but this is how the Xamel looks. I'm gonna show you. You'll see. So basically, I got my figure in the mail, and I was kind of scared when I saw this was the box that they shipped it in. Basically, it's a Kleenex box turned inside out, and they used wrapping tissue paper and like some cardboard to give it strength, I guess. And yeah, I was kind of scared. I'm like, this box is crushed. I hope the figure was not broken in some sort of way. And this is like the rest of the packaging they use, so try not to be too cheap when sending your figures out, guys. You wouldn't want buyer to go unhappy because of their figure breaking. But no, my Xamel did come in good condition. But I started wondering, I was wondering why doesn't the Xamel is able to turn. The Xamel can turn, but very limited. And when you start turning it a little bit, what happens is you put stress on these cables that connect to the Xamel. The cables connect from the back of the skirt, the back of the middle part, and they go up to the front of the Xamel. But yeah, this video is going to be made for demonstration purposes and for science. I hope you guys don't hate me too much for what I did, but don't worry, no Xamels were harmed much in the making of this video. So let's take a look at the Xamel taken apart. So here's the legs. This is pretty standard to do, pretty simple. I'm pretty sure if you take this part off, because it's connected like through ball joint, this part actually comes off too. It acts like a little filler to fill a space in here and give the Xamel that detail that it has, in the show with this part or whatever. You have this part, which is the knee, which connects through hinge joint and ball and socket joint. And this part's a little hard to take out. It can be a little stressful to the joints if it's taken out wrong. But everything's all good. This is pretty simple to take out. The arm, it's connected with hinge joint, of course, and then hands are on ball joint, so they are compatible with the other hands that are ball joint oriented, I guess. We got the little fins that go on the side of the Xamel, of course. These ones were kind of bent a bit, but they're all good. They could be straightened out with some hot water, of course, or something like that. Same here, connected, with peg and hole joint. So, peg goes in the little hole of the skirt armor. Then we got the little missiles that connect with hinge joint. Just goes on this part of the Xamel. On the top where the Xamel's I guess torso's at. Then we got this part, this is connected from peg to hole joint. So that just pops in like that. I didn't want to take apart the gun because the gun's probably just connected with some hinge joints. You just put a little piece of metal in there, and it's like a little hinge now. Same with this part, most likely, so I didn't want to take that apart. And probably same with, yes, like I said, just a little hinge joint. This part comes off. This is connected from peg to hole, I believe. I'm not too sure. Let me see here, because when the seller shipped this, it was already taken apart. Oh yeah, so this part connects to, how does it connect? It connects from peg to hole, which is right here. So it just goes like that. And this little part comes off, the part that holds the gun in place. And this is peg to hole. So here's the hole right here. Just plugs in like that. But basically all the stuff will be put together. Now here's probably the most interesting part while I was trying to do this, and it was the main point of me for doing this. I wanted to see if the Xamel actually had a waist joint. And from taking apart the Xamel, it does. Now as you can see, it's right here. While taking off the joint, or taking it apart, this part got a little bent It's not completely bent, but you can see it should be going straight, and instead it's kind of like going to the right. So I just put it in halfway so it kind of straightens out a bit. But this is basically what holds the Xamel together. You got the two ball joints which hold the legs in, and this part connects into the Xamel, which is right here, and allows it to swivel. Now, due to the Xamel having these cables, and due to the skirt armor, when the skirt armor is not modified, I modified my skirt armor, kind of cut off some of the plastic, so once I put this back on, it'll actually be able to move. But due to the skirt armor and the cables don't allow it to move, because, you know, it's just on there, and the cables don't come off really, because what happened was when I was trying to turn it, the cables were getting weak. The cables actually snapped a bit, so they could easily be glued in, but that's not what that's not what I'm going to do. I'm gonna just when I do put it back, I'm gonna just put the cables down here. They actually fit pretty well. They kind of like conceal themselves, so those cables are just going to be like that, going through there. And I'm just gonna leave them like that, so they'll be like that, and the Xamel will go like this, you know. So basically, the whole point of doing this was to give the Xamel a waist joint, so where it can actually, you know, turn, because any Xamel, before, like, just when you have the Xamel, it's not made to turn, to be honest. It's just made to stay stationary, looking face forward. And I don't know, I thought it was kind of hindering its hindering like what it could do, because obviously it was given a waist joint, but due to it having the cables and the skirt armor being a little weird, what the skirt armor does is, like, the skirt armor is like a little rectangle, so like I cut off some of that, so it's like a rectangle and then it circles out and then it rectangles back, and what happens is it doesn't allow it makes the shape fit in here. As you can see, here's like the outline of the shape, and you can't really move it that much when it's like that. And when you do, it causes this part to go out and protrude and kind of mess up the plastic. So as you can see, there's kind of like some stress right there from doing that little white part. And then these white parts were from actually using a flathead to kind of pry it out, because I was trying to pry it out with just brute force, and this peg is so like deep, it's like about like maybe 2 inches, that it's not really easy to take out by just doing that. It's like almost impossible. So I was kind of scared, but at the same way I was like determined to see, you know, what's going on in here. And I know it's pretty damn crazy. I mean, there's only probably 2 people who will do this, which will either be kids when they first got this, and, you know, they decide to just play with it and then ended up breaking it, or just people who are crazy enough like me to do this. But I was maybe the only one of those people to post the video on how it is. So, you know, pretty simple, just like any MSIA. For instance, if you have a Shining Gundam, you could take apart the torso, like the upper body from the lower body, and you'll have this part, and this part just basically, you know, it goes in through here, and I'll just show you how that goes. Let's see. Oops. I didn't put it all the way, but basically it goes in through there and it pops in all the way up, and then once that's all the way up, you'll have this the little peg sticking out like about 1 inch, and then from there you just pop the Xamel back on, but you make sure you put the skirt armor on, and it's just like that. I would say I wouldn't recommend anybody to do this, because I mean, the Xamel is such a rare figure, and it's not very easy to come by, and it's also not very cheap. I picked up the Xamel for a decent price, but I was determined to see what was going on, and I was determined to give my Xamel a little bit of a waist joint. But now with all this, I'm pretty sure it's going to be able to move fine. You know, it's going to be able to turn. I'm pretty sure in the show, I remember him when they're doing a desert battle, that it's almost actually turned while going that way. So it's kind of odd that Bandai didn't kind of hindered that effect of not letting it able to turn, which kind of sucks, but you know, whatever. But yeah, don't worry, the Japanese Xamel's safe. I would never do anything to the Japanese Xamel. That's just too crazy, because Japanese figures are like usually twice the price, and usually twice the harder to find than the regular American release. So no, I wouldn't do anything like that to my Japanese Xamel. So you don't have to worry about him. He's gonna be safe. That's kind of the reason why I got my American release Xamel, so I could actually have a Xamel that I could keep out, because I don't know if this guy were to get kind of dusty too much, you know, maybe the panel lining will kind of come off. So I kind of just keep him in my like cabinet on my dresser, so the dust doesn't really get to him too quick. Yeah, guys, this is kind of like a video for demonstration purposes and for science, of course. Like I said, I do not recommend you guys to do this. It can be very stressful to the joints, as you can see, cause some stress to cause the I guess the peg, you know, they kind of bend, and you know, you could easily break the Xamel like that. And I know I'm saying this to you guys, but I know I was doing this myself. Lucky it didn't break though. The only thing, like I said, cables snap. The cables really aren't too much of a problem for me. The cables, in my opinion, are getting in the way. Well, we're getting in the way, and you know, they are getting in the way because due to the cables, like the Xamel's not going to be able to move. But with the cables now off, the Xamel will be able to move, and also the little bit of cutting to the skirt armor will allow the Xamel to move. Now this big old kind of, it looks like a white piece. I think that's like, maybe it's not really a stress mark. It's kind of from scratching from putting the flathead under there, and you know, but it's all good, because when the Xamel goes back on, you're not going to even be able to see that piece, the stress part of it. So it's going to be all good. I'm probably going to get this figure repainted, because honestly, this color is not really appealing to me. It's kind of yucky. It reminds me of like a mustard brown with the light shined on it, but like when the light's off of it, it's kind of like it's just like a really yucky brown. Now you take a look at the Xamel Japanese version. You have like this nice bronze kind of brown, more true brown color, more nice, and the kind of like white or yellow panel lining makes it a lot more nicer. But yeah, so like I said, this was just a video to show you how Xamel is, and I'm pretty sure no one else has ever done this or even posted it or thought about posting it. But I hope you guys do. Hope you guys don't get too crazy on me. But yeah, I just want to show you how this guy actually works, because honestly, I never thought this guy even had any kind of joint. I thought he was just glued on there or something. If you popped him off, he just came off. Yeah, guys, be sure to stay tuned for my other videos. I probably won't be doing videos like this too often, if any, in the future. But yeah, be sure to stay tuned for my other videos. I have a review on this guy coming up, and I will be doing a little in-depth review of the Zaku Black Tri-Stars and the Japanese Shining Gundam. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and please stay tuned for other videos, and later.